I'm trying to decide what it is I want to work on today. I still have lost, oh my God, it's bright out. Still have lost access to my Facebook Marketplace account for a second time, which sucks because it's where a majority of my stuff comes, majority of my sales come from. So, still bright. Why did I do that? Thinking of redoing my website. Not redoing my website, refocusing my website, and also having sub-websites. So here's what I'm trying to figure out. I sell pop culture stuff, but I have a podcast about art, and I do comics, and I'm also working on animation, and I also do music. I have a separate site for the music. Do I keep them separate? Do I integrate them? That's what I gotta figure out. I wanna look at my website and try and figure out what to do. Maybe I could just have sections of the website. I worry about losing people that listen to the podcast or that follow this stuff that I'm doing here. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I don't have any answers. I'm just thinking out loud. Sales have been okay because I still have eBay and Mercari. It's too loud. I can't stop focusing on the Facebook Marketplace and the selling thing until I get that in place again. 2 weeks in a row. I don't understand why I lost it 2 weeks in a row. I've done nothing different. I've been selling on it for like 2 years, but I need to focus on the website. I'm going to forget some of this stuff, so I'm going to create just a list of things like I do every morning in Google Keep so I can at least look back on it. And then at the end of the day, I can go, why didn't I do half of these things? So I'm going to do that first. Lyle the Crocodile book. One of the lesser known R.L. Stine books, Phone Calls. It's about gossipy teenagers, I think. A vintage keychain game from the 90s for perfection. Also, don't ever get shot glasses. This one finally sold, had it for like, I want to say 3 years. It's one of the first things I ever bought. Donnie and Marie, 1976. New season. I think it's just based on their TV show. I'm going to mail out that album first because it's the most difficult to pack. So I gotta find a box that's gonna be usable. Good Lord. I used to be so terrified of sending albums, and now I realize that I just put them in like a sleeve box. It just takes some maneuvering. This is normally like what the daily amount would be, but this is over the weekend. So I mean, at least I have that going on. Also, I was working on a cartoon last night based on a song that I wrote last week. So I got things going on, but then I'm like, how do I promote it? I did a thing recently where I was like, why do I create things? And I'm not sure why I'm doing it. And maybe when I'm working on the website, I'll take a look at some of the stuff that I have out there. I do need to rearrange it. The navigation isn't really where I want it to be. I don't think you can find things properly. Yeah, I just need to look over the website. Focus, Tom. As I'm going over this is the problem that I have in my head. When I'm trying to organize or look at how I can best go about fixing my website, I feel like I said that weird. These are the categories. And I think I mentioned this before. I have the webcomic and the book that I make out of it. I have the podcast with artists. I like to sell vintage toys and books and things like that. And I like talking about them and learning about them. Plus, I love the artwork in them. And I feel like that's not clear when I do it. To me, in my head, they all go together. My main thing is that I feel like I'm just going to annoy people with not being able to explain this. When they come here for an art podcast, they're going to be like, but why does he keep talking about all these old items? Or am I just overthinking it? And I probably am. but also it's about me learning things. Like right now I'm learning how to do a cartoon in Blender, and I need to start putting that on there. But I always hesitate to put it on. So I have a separate site for my pop culture stuff, and I was originally doing that, but I still feel like those could be used on both, or on either one. Do I keep it as a separate site? Poem, art podcast, webcomic, blog, music. That's the other thing too, music. I do music more than any of this stuff. I'm gonna look at other sites and see what they're doing. But now I need to figure out what sites do the same thing as I do. At least that's the solution I have for now. I'm just gonna try and see if I can reverse engineer what they're doing. So on top of all this, I also need to go to the post office to drop off those packages that I just did today. Another thing I like to do at least once a week is check in on the progress of the train car and if I can get in there yet. Started raining out, but there it is. Get in there and see what the progress is doing. So there we are. They've been using it for storage space. While we can't get in here, I think there's still no power. As always, I'm going to check anyway. Nothing. Just so annoyed. Not even sure if I'm going to stay in here anymore. We got this place like 2018, and we've not been in here since. And now it's getting close to dinner time, and it's again one of those days where it's like, did I get anything done? Also, here's the really weird thing, and this has been happening quite a few times. I think I even put it in the comic once, but I have the right stuff by New Kids on the Block in my head now. And it happens at least once a day. I don't know what triggers it. The right stuff.